Okay, welcome to the Box Truck Hustle podcast where we talk trucking, real money, and real lessons from the road. I'm Telly Arnold, part of TLA Group, where I mix corporate background and the Box Truck Hustle.
I'm Sharif Brooks. I'm the other half of TLA Group, dispatcher driver over 24 years, and uh, still out there driving to this day.
And hey, I'm Derek Williams, owner of Fast Lane Trucking and Logistics. Been in business actually a little over a year now. I'm fairly newbie, but got a lot of experience now over this last year.
All righty. So, what do we want to talk about today? We want to talk about the rates, what Morgan Stanley said, that
Yeah, we
2026 may be a comeback for the trucking industry.
we can start that,
We can
cause
start there.
yeah, cause that's a morale boost. That's other than rumor. You get what I'm saying? That was like the first thing that you can say, okay, they said it. Everything
Yeah.
else was social media and
Yeah,
rumors. You know,
conjecture, innuendo.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Or what I call jailhouse talk. I don't know.
There you go.
They go in there. Oh man, you gonna do 30? You gonna do 3 months, man? Don't worry, you good. Get there and they ain't wasn't nothing right.
Well, I was happy to read it. So if the rates look better than what I'm seeing now, going to Arkansas from Houston, 4 stops for $400, I was like,
Uh,
ain't no way. 8,000 pounds? Yeah, it's got to be better than that. That
and
needs
you
to
know
be at
what you
least
got to be
1,000.
careful.
Hmm.
So sorry, Ben. I'm sorry. What you got to be careful is because they don't tell you the details until you done said, okay, yeah, go ahead and book. And that's, all right, we done got you down for 400. And look, it's 4 stops. That's all. Just 4 stops in town from 8 to 2. And you like, okay, you didn't say that before I said I would accept the load. So I need all the details, especially on that truck stop.
Yeah.
They
Well,
don't
I'm
put
I'm
notes.
I'm probably a little more skeptical than y'all about if they're going to actually change because uh, like I said, but even before I got into trucking, I was already in business. I got a ATM business and then I do wholesale real estate. But with the price of everything going up, I mean, constantly, everything's going up. Groceries, uh, technology, just parts, everything going up. It's not. It's gonna where it's gonna make the shipping price, they're going to try to find a way to cut costs, just like we try to find a way to cut costs in the truck. So they're going to try to find a way to cut costs too. If it's the first thing they're going to do is, hey, all this shipping, we got to figure out how to keep it, keep that cost low. Where I'm not too skeptical, but I'm still like, I don't know if it's going to be an instant soon as 2026 hit first 3 months. And it will probably
Yeah.
be more toward the end of 2026 when things just kind
Hmm.
of flatline. But like, I just feel like, especially with this administration that we actually dealing with at this current time, with the price of everything going up, it's just kind of hard to see. Yeah, you just paying attention to the market rates now. It's just like it's been so steady. Even the summertime, where it's supposedly peak season, the rates are currently looking like they were looking in the summer. So it didn't.
Well, what they were saying was with so many exiting, less trucks, less drivers with the new laws that they changed and the new compliance, then there's going to be more capacity than there are drivers, kind of like with COVID. That's what they were kind of saying.
Correct,
I, yeah,
and that's what I think. I think that's why I say I think it'll be more later in
later
2026
in
than now
2026.
because you're
Hmm.
going to have to go still get through that process of filtering out these
See, and
unequipped drivers, these illegals and all of that. So that's going to take at least another 6 months.
I'm with that. And see, if it's that, that's still great news.
Oh yeah,
You get what I'm
absolutely,
trying to say?
absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
that's like knowing, when you get nine. Listen, at first it was you didn't know. Now you got it, you got a goal. Man, if it's at the end, oh, because we've been going through it, what, three?
Yeah.
Woo,
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
on now. Come on. So if they say, hey, man, next Christmas around the,
I think it'll really
August, it is.
I think it'll really hit when all the CDL restrictions hit fully because they're gonna get so many people that just gonna lose their CDL. They're gonna have to contact them box trucks. Like they're just gonna have to. But like I said, maybe April, May, you'll probably really start seeing more of an uptake in the rates because there's that many drivers on the road now. Because hey,
Right.
your CDL got restricted or you got deported or whatever the situation may
Oh,
be.
and
You
and
know,
I was telling it, not to cut you off, I was saying like it gotta be a result of them doing that. And I hate that it comes down to that,
correct, right, right,
regardless of the reason why they doing it, because it's been like that for years. You always saw somebody that couldn't speak English behind the wheel. You know what I
right.
mean? Barely can get a fuel ticket, can barely get fuel. They'll hold up the line. You know what I mean? So it's always been that way,
Yeah.
but I guess they weeding them out. So I feel like
Ryan,
it has
Ryan,
to
you got
adjust.
some noise going on. Can I put him?
Yeah, he busting
Yeah.
suds. That sound like a pot there, baby. That's a
Yeah,
pot.
boy. He got them dishes going. He got them dishes.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
it's like I said, I think it's like I said, I think it's gonna be a process. I think, and I've always preached this to anybody I talk to or whatever. Like, I think if people need to get their focus off of worrying about what the rates are, because the rates are the rate. You need
Yeah.
to worry about trying to lower your expenses as much as you can to
yeah.
operate
Hustle
this
through
business.
these races, exactly.
Correct. I literally had this conversation with a guy who's trying to get started up, and I told him he was shocked that I tell him I was like, I said I tell my driver where to get gas from. He was like, really? I said, yeah. He's like, you don't just let him go get gas. I said, no. I tell him where to go. I said, I will pull up the map on Motive and I will find the cheapest gas that's within 10 to 15, 20 miles of him. And I say, hey, you go stop there. Like I have to control costs. Like this is a business.
Mm-hmm,
You treat it like a business. If I just
mm-hmm.
let him go stop anywhere and he's just going to pilots and loves and getting gas at almost $4 a gallon when I can get it for 279 or 305 or whatever the situation may be, like I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna cut costs in every facet. But too many people don't do that. They're not running a business, they're running a hustle.
Right.
And I refuse to do that. So if I can cut costs in any way, if even if it's just a few cents or a few dollars, like I'm gonna do it. And he was just so shocked by it. He's like, man, my driver, he just stops on his own. And he's like, man, I'm spending $800 every 2 weeks. I'm like, bro, that's that's pretty much $1,600 a month diesel.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
survive like that. You ain't making but 3,500 to 4,000 in a month. Like, you spending half of it on diesel?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Gotcha.
part of it. Getting those expenses low and not
Yeah.
having a lot of overhead. That's where, well, we've gotten hit with too many mechanical bills, and we had to finally just let go of that lemon that was dragging us down. So.
Man, yeah, that was. I think that was. Ooh, that was like the Amityville Horror House. You know how something leaves and bringing bad mojo to the business, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
we had some good months out there in that East Coast that first year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she was a good truck, but man, we had to let her go, man.
Yeah. Really
But
did.
Especially
but
who she came.
but you guys were smart and you were willing to look at a problem, confront it, and solve it instead of just sitting there keep trying to fight through it like a lot of these owner operators doing. You pivoted, even if it meant scaling back. You
Exactly.
pivoted and it's like, hey, we'll start from here and we'll get back to a second truck and a third truck and so on
Exactly.
and so on.
Yeah.
That's why I decided to get behind the wheel because, that cost us money too, hiring the wrong people back to back, wasted almost 2 months. No,
More than
four
that.
months, 4 months. Yeah, I
Yeah.
tell you that. And then, you ain't making revenue. You just, especially with the stop and goes and I gotta go home, man. I forgot about. Okay. All right, man. So I told her we ain't gonna worry about that until it's time. I'm gonna get out there, you know,
Yeah.
so things can be
Yeah.
consistently going in to go. Revenue can.
Yeah, man. I think even though I'm not necessarily dealing with that. I think what y'all are doing is the best plan of action if somebody's trying to get into this business. If you don't have a competent to great driver, you need to get in there yourself because otherwise you just you're it's too much risk, too much money being tied up in somebody else that you can't depend on.
Hmm.
So like to to take control of your own business and jump in there yourself, like I commend you. I wish more people like would do that. If they really want to be in that business, then
Yeah, if you want to keep
jump in
it
yourself.
going,
Yeah,
yeah,
it don't fit my lifestyle right now, so I ain't gonna do that. But like I said, I feel fortunate right now. But a lot of people they just they want to hire a driver and they don't even know how to run the business. So the driver is lost just as much as them.
and and that's why I feel like I make sure I don't lose sight once we get to the level where I'm not behind the wheel, because I've been in all situations in the 18 wheeler. So, when I had to tell a couple drivers, man, when I'm telling you something, believe me, get you a Planet Fitness membership. If you depending on the pilots and the truck stop to bathe, I don't want you nasty in the truck. You know,
Please,
not in no
Pl-
box truck. It's bad in the big truck, but a box
yeah,
truck, now I need you a little bit more cleanly in
had
the
that
in the box truck, sir.
had
You
that
know.
whole 26 feet funky. Be funky in that thing.
Oh, that, I'm out there. You got to keep shit set. You got to be real personal.
Yeah.
If you not like that, and you throw stuff over the dash type dude, nah, man, no, it's gonna be nasty.
Now my driver he will get to eating them little convenience store pizza boxes and have them kind of spread out, but he'll clean it out eventually. But sometimes I
Yeah.
look on that camera, I'll be like, bro, like,
You got
can,
an
can you?
inside camera?
Oh yeah, I see every.
Ooh.
I see what he do and everything. I don't play that man. Like no,
Uh,
he
I
called
know
me
me.
sometime and he be talking to him too. Cause he love to put that seatbelt behind him and it'll tell him
Okay.
no seatbelt. It talk to you. So yeah, he ain't the biggest fan of it, but I mean he done kind of got used to it now.
You
But
gotta do it in the box truck because you're more visible. I
yeah,
can see you. You
right.
get what I'm trying to say? Ain't no dark background to hide in a big truck. If I pull that curtain in the dark background, you can't really tell if I don't have
Yeah,
no
you can't
seatbelt.
tell.
But that
Right, right.
box truck is solid. So if I'm
Yeah,
especially the shirt I have on, that's why they have those lime colored
the
straps
seat
now.
straps. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, they
Yeah,
orange now. Just looking
he be
terrible.
getting. And then he got he I bought him a mount when I initially got the truck, and he went and bought him a second mount. So he had his phone mounted up, and he watching Netflix and stuff. I mean, the windshield's so big, so he got. And I'm like, bruh. And he like, nah, man, I'm good, and I only do it when I'm at the shop. Like, yeah, I don't believe that shit. I know you watching that shit. He's such a good kid. Just I try to be lenient with him, but the it's like first
Be
and foremost, like
consistent.
he consistent, bro. So at the end of the day, like I don't want to lose that. Like he's so consistent
Exactly.
and he stays out,
Mm.
from time like long times and stuff. If he hears something, he like, hey, he checking the truck, check the
See,
oil,
see,
do
you
all
got
do
some.
all the pre checks and stuff.
Yeah, you gotta leave him
I just
alone.
don't have no issue with him. Yeah, I
Long as
leave him
he
alone.
ain't screwing you up with the logs and he consistent on deliveries and pickups, everything else you like, okay, he got. Cause I wasn't by the book. If back in the day they had cameras in the truck, oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I had to teach, and I had to teach him how to talk to the police.
yeah,
He
yeah.
good at that, so he talked to them well. You know,
But you're right.
he young. I think he just turned 25.
Okay, he's coach.
So
We had uncoachable drivers.
Well, I don't want to say anything, but we only got one woman on here. But man, see, I had two females on here. And when I had the two females, ooh.
you
And to
you t-
me, I was like, I can handle back talk better from a female. And I kind of looked at it like that way. Because if I hire you and you running your mouth, I'm really,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
that's
We
really.
time. It's
But
time
if
to
you're a
buck up.
female, I'm like, okay, okay, listen, okay, calm down, man. You know, you know, that's where I was at. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I rather a female because I don't want the conflict because I know me. This is my life. And you just can't be running your mouth, especially no dude. I'm gonna take it a little worse. But the other side, it was one female. She couldn't be consistent. She was always something. Indianapolis, you couldn't get her in the Midwest because she was passing by Indianapolis and she had to make a stop. Once she got to that Indy, baby, she had too much family over there.
Too,
So
too
that
Mm-hmm.
many,
was a
too many,
problem.
too
And
many cousins. Little Tay Tay them. All them.
exactly. And my
Man.
thing is, listen, I know me. It was certain spots where I wanted to go see somebody. Boom. I just wanted to make sure my people, the owner, knew that I was consistent, that I wasn't gonna compromise the route to go do nothing. As long as I got that, I didn't want to be bothered. So, and I told her that I don't care what you do. Take care of the truck. Be mindful of where you park the truck. You know, and once I know that, I won't bother you. You know what I mean? I'll let you handle your business. But let me see that first. Don't start doing that your first week, and then all of a sudden you mad because I want to know where the truck at is in the. I'm looking, it's in the a plaza in the corner somewhere. Did you check? You got to come on. It look funny.
Right.
But you can't tell me you over your cousin house. I said, no, you can't do that. You wait in Indianapolis for me. And then that gave me anxiety. Oh, my truck, she tripping.
Yeah.
I just saw her in the corner, buying a gram somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Jumping back.
And somebody taking a load,
Boy,
losing sleep.
exactly.
That anxiety a real thing though. I swear it took me about three
I
and a
did
half
have
months to
that.
get it took me about 3.5 months to get over that anxiety of the driver, like to where I could sleep at night and not, be trying to check up on him, not trying to pull up the damn motor and see where he at and see how fast he going. Like it took me about a good 3.5 months. Like it was
Yeah,
hard.
you
It was real
good.
hard.
I would hire you for the safety department. He real good.
Yeah, bro.
Hey,
I
we
did
get
not
big.
sleep. I did not sleep. I
I'm
sleep when
OC.
he's in the truck.
I got OCD, dog. I be checking, bro.
Yeah.
That damn motive, man. I swear, if you check my usage on my phone, that damn motive
Hmm.
app at 100%. I'm checking that motherfucker. Checking.
Yeah. And I'm
Yeah.
glad I would check her because I told her, listen, because I do cut corners when you in town. Like if you stuck there over the weekend on a Friday and you delivering on a Monday and you there Saturday, okay, listen, unplug it. As long as you stay in the vicinity, go ahead and go get you something to eat and drive across the street, go handle something. Go ahead. But make sure you plug it back up once you go drop that load to get back up to make sure you back on what's the name? Online. She would forget. So now you done drove 3 hours
You done draws
offline.
that. Yeah, your time. God
Then you
damn.
gonna argue with me because I said, listen, I'm
She
calling
didn't.
you.
She didn't know how to do the personal conveyance.
But my thing is, she didn't. When you plug it back up, you got to make sure the Bluetooth is connected. You got to
Right.
make
Yeah.
sure it
Yeah. Yeah.
shows. You just plugged it up, got in the truck, burnt
It
off.
ain't connecting. I'm like,
You didn't make sure it's connected. And I'm trying to give you a shortcut, so because I know how it is. If you
Right.
stuck and you on your 34-hour reset and you want to go get something to eat, I don't want you stuck. You know what I'm saying? Unplug it, but when it's time to go, plug it
exactly.
back up. Let's go. I'm trying to give you a little small shortcut. But if you
But
do it
see,
right, I've been doing it for all this year, and we ain't had no problem. Why? Because I remember to make sure the Bluetooth is connected. Boo. You can't go drive. You can't drive to another city unconnected. Now you can go up the street and come back unconnected as long as you stay in that little radius. But
Hmm.
you can't be in Birmingham and drive to Atlanta and then reconnect.
no.
You get what I'm trying to say? And then
That's
now you
that's
got
two
a
hours
whole,
right
yeah, you got
there.
3, 4 hours where they gonna ask you for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
But that's
she
even
didn't
going back to what
understand
I
that.
was. That's even going back to what I said. I want just like I find my driver gas. I find him a hotel, and I always try to get him a hotel that's around like plazas or like a bunch of restaurants, so he'll
Yeah,
just
see,
walk.
you
Yeah,
real
he'll just get
good.
he a
Yeah, you
country
real
boy,
good.
man. He don't care. He ain't never had shit. You know what I'm saying? We from the
Yeah,
country,
yeah.
so we act like
Yeah.
we ain't never had. So he'll get out there. He'll go walk to the, go get him a hamburger. Go to walk to Waffle House. If it's a mall nearby, he won't even get in it. Like he be if he was gone for the whole weekend, he won't even get in the truck. I had a stop in San Antonio one time, and he went to a Spurs game, but the hotel was literally it was maybe like an 8 minute walk from the Spurs stadium, and he
See,
walked.
you
So you
had
got you a
men,
good one.
we had female.
See, you
Yeah,
had a
yeah, yeah, I
good one.
understand.
You had a
Yeah,
good one. Cause me, I don't have to. She'll tell you. I stop on a Saturday. I be in the parking lot playing the fitness as long as I got somewhere to
but
eat.
he'll call an Uber too now. If he just want
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
go somewhere, he'll park that truck, and he'll get an Uber from the hotel. Yeah, well, he'll Uber somewhere. I mean, because I pay him every Friday. Like that's our thing. Every Friday morning hit, I'm sending him his money for the week.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha, gotcha.
he good. If you want to go somewhere, park the damn truck. If you can't walk there, call an Uber. Ain't like I said, I just I hadn't had no issue with him. Like
You are
Yeah, see that.
blessed. You
nothing.
Yeah,
are
you
blessed
blessed.
because me and
But see, that's
Ryan,
like he
we had
I'm
said,
a,
some
country
so I'm
stories.
though.
now I'm finna jinx myself. Now when I got the phone with y'all, he gonna start acting that ass. He gonna start
He
acting
said,
that ass.
hey, yeah, hey, you gonna get that dreaded call, man. Can you advance me 600, man?
I mean, but I done did that a couple times. And this that's the thing too. I think a lot of people that get into this, man, like, especially starting off, I mean, sometimes your driver gonna have to make more money than you if you want to keep them. And it
If
was
you
Right.
want to keep
time,
a good driver, yep, yep.
he made 1350 or 1200 for the week, and I made four. But hey, the bills was paid, it was a
Yeah.
profit, and he happy. I know he ready to come back to work next week because
Ah,
he want to make another 1,000, 1,200. And we
I
always had a
got
deal, especially starting off when the authority was new. I was like, if we don't make 1,000, if I don't make enough to pay you at least 1,000, I'm gonna give him $800 regardless. So
That's fine.
he knew he gonna make at least $800 a week. That was
Yeah.
our deal, and he was always cool with that. Luckily, especially after maybe like the first 2 months, I mean, we always hit our numbers. At least for him, we always hit our numbers.
man. But that is a good, that is a good. We never thought of. Did we talk about it like that? Tell him about that.
Mm,
I always did
I had
percentage,
all kind of different ways.
Yeah,
I
that's
try
how we
to,
did. We did
I,
percentage too. But it
but
just
just
if
in
I
case it got too low, you got you,
yeah,
got you.
if he didn't make 1,000 for the week, I was gonna at least pay $800
well,
because
they
he was
always
only
owe
doing
me
20. He was
money.
only doing 20%. We
Yeah,
started
they
off at.
God,
always owe me money. So that one girl, we had to deduct.
yeah.
I needed my money
Oh,
back.
okay. Yeah, let me get that
But
back.
then when you leave, when I tell you the pay period end, you don't even get out there long enough to make a full week in the pay period. So that was always what was hindering. We would tell her you need to leave on like a Friday. So then you delivering on Monday. You want to leave on Monday and you're probably not delivering to Wednesday. Payroll, I gotta cut it like Thursday. So
I
it
always
was
say
just
Friday's your head start. That's your head
yeah,
start,
that's your
mama,
head
for the
start. Cause
week.
I did everything through paychecks because I wanted to have tracking of all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just everything was different with yeah, it was these advances and I was like, when did I become a bank? Like,
Outside of maybe the first month, I didn't really do too no advances to him. Like I advanced him some money so he could like eat and stuff, and little stuff like that. But and even then, I don't even think I asked for it back. I think I ended up letting him. I ended up letting him keep it instead. Yeah. I shot him like a little extra $150 or whatever. Instead, hell, he eat gas station food. He a kid. He don't want nothing but some hot. He don't want nothing but some hot Cheetos.
Oh man. And a fountain drink.
That's it, and they good. I be like, boy, how you survive all that? I said, you don't want no mashed potatoes, no chicken or nothing.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
It is some good eating out there, man. You gotta watch it, man. Boy,
yeah.
I've been out there. I'm getting to it. I said, man, I done found that I can't. Them damn ices and them pilots, they so dirty. They got a big old icing machine
Ain't
with the
clean that
big
thing.
cups.
Ain't clean that thing in months.
Man, I and see, look at it. Tell he been messing up my little habit. I'm like, oh yeah.
Now he gonna be
Cause,
looking at it
'cause
funny.
I know I'm gonna be like, ah,
He gonna be out on the side looking at it, making to see if it
I
clean or
know.
not.
I had to slime in the ice machine. Yeah. Not really, cause that's been a bad habit for me. I go in there and see that nice Coca-Cola sign and the wild cherry. I'm like, oh man, let me get me a nice 44 ounce.
But the
And
good thing though, most of them truck stops now they got restaurants in it, so you got an Arby's or a Chick-fil-A or
yeah,
whatever,
They
So
prices are much higher.
yeah, them little niggas be a little bit high.
16.95 for a three-piece.
I'm
You know,
like,
at
damn.
Popeye, 16.95. Man, you should be able to take dates there. Women should be like, yeah, let's go to Popeyes.
I'm
You
telling you,
know,
boy,
yeah,
shit.
I'm serious. Bring some linen and some candles, cause them prices high. Them value ain't no value no more with the value man. They need to cut that out. They need to pass our menus like restaurants.
So, what would you give advice to someone starting out, Derek? Because you started out with
I
kind of like
well,
us.
yeah, I started out like I tell you, first time I bought my truck cash. Like I said, I had been doing wholesale real estate before I came, and I was like, I had a good I had a good month period where I hadn't made like 30,000 wholesaling. So, and I'd already started, I had already started researching doing the trucking thing and all this and that and stuff. So I found a truck, 15,000, the 2012 Freightliner. It had a motor rebuilt. It had the original motor had like 555,000 miles on it. Motor got rebuilt and all on the rebuilt motor one but like 21,000 miles on it. And it was a lady she's actually was getting out. She had two Freightliners. She was getting out to become a broker. So she was like, from what she told me, you couldn't be a broker and have a trucking company. I don't know the rules to that, so I didn't ask. So I went and the truck maybe was like 30 minutes from like North Atlanta. Went and bought the truck from her. Like I said, so I bought it cash. My advice to anybody, first and foremost, is if you could buy, if you, I think you don't need to try to get into this if you don't, if you don't have at least 40,000 cash, like 40,000 cash, and that's
I
Yeah,
agree.
I
after you
agree.
buy the truck and you got at least 20,000 left over after you done bought the truck, got the MC and authority, paid all the UCR stuff. You need to have 20,000 working capital,
Mm-hmm.
and that's after you buy the truck. Because the
Right.
insurance, my insurance, like I said, my driver at the time, he was 23. So and he had a ticket maybe 2 years prior to us starting. So initially, my insurance was 1,700,
That's
but
still
I
more
didn't
than ours.
but I didn't have a truck note.
Mm.
So that
Yeah.
helped out a whole lot.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Uh, when we came back this go round with the insurance, it was cheaper, but it was initially, like I said, it was seventeen hundred
And
dollars,
what
and on
what what state you in?
I'm in Georgia.
It's Harris
Boy, let me
County
tell
for
you,
us. Harris County is the highest tax
Well,
rate
shit,
man,
because we
I'm
started
in
out
I'm
at
in
twenty
Fulton
five
County.
hundred.
Fulton County crazy. I
man,
know
we
a
was
lot.
tell it. You better tell them
We
what
was
we was
paying
paying.
2,500 for one.
Oh man,
Yeah,
25.
2,500. And then
yes.
when we
Did
started
and
getting
y'all
our
had a truck?
note,
Y'all had a truck note too?
we got a truck note. So we was
Then we
swinging
got you.
the truck note and
See, that'd get me.
yeah.
And
See,
I was
my
saying,
anxiety would have blew up. I would have shit.
I don't know how we've been
man,
doing it, but now I take our truck note and I break it out weekly. So I said I'm going to include the late fee, and I paid $350 a week for the truck note, and then we pay the insurance. The insurance is now $1,600.
Okay, that's
But
good.
when we started out, we started with 20,000, and we rented a truck. But the information we got was, well, as soon as your MC become active, you should be able to start booking loads. So we thought we rent a truck, we got a $20,000 cushion, we were gonna be fine. That
man,
$20,000 went so fast
Eat it up.
because we
Eat
was
it.
renting that truck,
Eat it up like a
paying
fat
900.
kid.
Yeah, paying $900 a week, it ate that money up, and then we finally ran under somebody's authority because it's just nothing we could get. And that's when we started making money. But by then I done blew through $20,000. Like, it was gone. It was gone.
See, I would, and I swear, man, the box truck bros just posted a video that I think everybody should go watch on his Instagram, breaking down the whole rental thing and showing you how much you would pay in a month throughout the rental and stuff. And like, I've never even hearing it when I first started getting in. I'm like, that just don't make no sense. I just don't see how a rental could benefit me if, especially being a new authority. Like I said, if you got somebody who you can lease under for free or super cheap, I
Yeah.
think it can work. But if you don't, I
Back then, you could get a rental for like 250 to 300 when I
well,
first
that's true
started.
too. Yeah, but when
Right
when they
before I
saw the
first,
box truck game growing, they shot them damn prices up.
right after COVID, they shot the
Right,
motherfuckers
right.
to about $1,000 a week.
Yeah, come on, man. You paying $400 for the rental, and then you paying, even if you paying 15 cents a mile,
Hmm.
and you OTR, that shit adds up.
You ain't lying.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
it
ain't
So
does
lying.
that. I mean, we saw it firsthand when we were paying it.
Real talk, you know. And that's why I like, and now, and that's what I told her. I said, you know what? After we wasted that time trying to hire, I said, you know what? I'm finna go the rest of this year. And that was like in August. I said that I'm gonna go the rest of this year and next year, and I'm just gonna go hard consistently, 2 months at a time, just hitting it,
That's
you
what I
know.
do, man.
And we just got to stay consistent and consistent revenue coming in. You know what I'm
Mhm.
trying to say? Short breaks, long hauls, and
Mhm.
and then we'll worry about growing after we see the
Yeah.
results of it. You know what I mean? But right
So
now, that's what we're gonna do. We got to be
people,
Because
full
when
people,
I
fledged
would
in it.
rent the grant money, we had those inconsistent drivers. I ate through $10,000. Like, I was like, what happened? Like, it was there, and then you want to come home, and then we ain't making money. So guess what's supplementing it? So it's like we can't even scale because our drivers could not stay in those trucks. So
right?
that's why with Sharif in the truck is like, the money's coming in. I'm not stressing. Thank you, Lord. The truck is acting right now.
Yeah.
So it was like when she went out in February, we had those two breakdowns. I think I was about to literally lose all my hair. Like, it was like back to back breakdowns with both trucks. I was like, this is not what we planned. He was gonna stay local and she was gonna be OTR, and we was like, we got it, and both trucks broke down like within a month of each other.
Then
I
that
got
Lowe's contract was so disappointing. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I got a guy. I don't know. Like I said, man, I don't know why a lot of people reach out to me, because people, I'm like, I don't think I'm a trucking guru and all this and that, but everybody like reaches out to me and asks me questions. But I had a guy who he wanted to get into trucking. He was like, he said he had, I think he said he had like $25,000, and I'm like, are you trying to hire a driver? And he's like, no, man, I've been struggling finding work. I think he had some felonies or whatever. He's struggling finding work, and he just want to get in truck. I said, look, dude, if you go buy a truck cash and get everything started, unless you literally willing to live in that truck for the next 6 months on that road, you gonna fail. Because if you willing to go get in that truck and live in it, stay out on that road for 6 months, and everything you make is yours, what people don't understand is, in a year time, one truck at the most you're gonna gross, let's say 120,000. That's gross. But you
Mm-hmm.
probably ain't gonna net but somewhere
Mm-mm.
around 50 and 60.
Mm-mm.
That's why I tell people all the time, like, you're not gonna get rich off one truck. And if you're struggling to make money in one truck, going to buy a second truck ain't gonna fucking help you,
Mm-mm.
because you don't know how to make money in the first truck.
Exactly.
So if you could generate net 50 to 60,000 off one truck, and you go to get your second truck and go get your third truck, then yes, you'll start seeing yourself separate from everybody. But it's a long game. It's not a get rich quick. All the shit you see is it's not real. It's just not real. The system and OTR and living off that load board is that's not a good business practice. You just want to use that load board to leverage yourself out to network and meet people to where you can get something more direct. And then if you just need to every now and then get some off the load board, cool, just to help supplement. But that's always been my goal when I first got in. It's like that's why you never hear me get online talking about rates and all this and that. 'Cause I really don't care about all that because I'm not gonna continue to live off that lower board. I get out of the
Mm.
shit before I continue to live off that lower board. Like
Yeah.
I would just give up the whole trucking thing. It just makes no sense. It's not real. It's the pennies. But once you start getting something more direct, your authority grows. People seeing that you're a reputable business, you'll get the loads, you'll get the good pay rates, you'll get the 250s, the $3 a mile and stuff. You'll get the more priority loads. And I think people don't focus more on trying to get specialty stuff like hazmat or stuff like that. You're limiting your chances of making money just trying to take regular loads all the time.
Well, you got to diversify. That's one reason we got the TSA and TWIC. You
I
know,
disagree.
Absolutely.
um,
Dis-
the
I
other
disagree
truck was
to a
not
certain
with
extent.
CDL.
I
What did you
disagree
say?
to a
I can't
certain.
really hear you.
I disagree to a certain extent. The only reason why I say that because even though you have all these certifications and you have brokers looking at those, just like Derek said, that you want to get out there and get a direct shipper. That's a part I do agree with. You do want to get a direct shipper. You do want to talk to these companies and have different modes of talking to different people. That's the reason why I hopped off of Facebook and went on to LinkedIn to talk to those people because of the simple fact I know that's where they congregate at. I know that's what they're doing. That's where they're trying to loop at. They're trying to get out there and get their faces known with shippers. So those are the people that I'm trying to interact with. So when he says contacting and getting off of the load board, I totally 100% agree with that. But the other stance, I just don't. I don't agree with that. Like, you know,
What
I,
But listen,
What don't you
which
agree
stand
with?
don't you agree with?
the standpoint where you was like, living off of the load board would be a fail. Like my entire 2.5 years that I've been, well, 3 years that I've been doing that, I didn't fail in my first 6 months like everybody else that everybody said. Like, and I was in a rental truck. Like, my
No,
whole
no, no.
business was a rental truck. So it was like it just depends on how you run. Like in my first year, I made 198K. Right, I made
How many
190,
trucks?
just one truck,
One
198K,
truck.
one truck, 198K in a rental. Mind you, a lot of that money was ate up by the profit because I think I spent about 70, 75, which that's the price of three used box trucks. But me in my mind, I'm thinking like, hey, look, I got this little 11K put up. I'm gonna go ahead and get in this rental truck, be cheap, blah blah blah. You can't be cheap when it comes to that. So that's another thing that I agree with. You cannot be cheap in here. You actually have to talk to the people. Like, you can get rental box trucks for cheaper than 1,000. You definitely can do that. You can get them for $500 to $600, but again, that mileage, that's where they're gonna eat your ass up at. 20 cents a mile, 33 cents a mile. I think I even heard one guy said, "Oh yeah, they charging me 72 cents a mile." I said, "What? How? How does that even make sense?" You're not gonna make no money off of that. So all you can do is short runs. OTR is no good for you, my God. Like you're not going to be able to make it. Then a lot of people think the long runs are the ones where you're going to make the most money. It's really not. A lot of if you really think about it, it's the short local runs, so that you can save on that gas. Because my gas bill was like 12.50 a week, between 1,000 and 12.50 a week. I mean, that's just going OTR. That's moving all around zone 4, zone 3, zone 2, and 1. There's
Well,
only
I
a
think
couple.
Well,
for me, if I could
what
get like a run that I know is like dedicated, if I could get a run where I know like every week we're going from Houston to Ohio, and we just got to find something on the load board to get back. That would be what I would love, because then I could budget our money a little bit better. That's
So this
what
what
I would
That's
like.
the hardest part.
this this is what
See, but
I
that,
would, but if I remember Ted, we was talking about that, and when it comes down to like finding direct shipper, and then like I said, that's easy to say. But if when I hear that, I think of FedEx. I think of trying to build a relationship with FedEx, UPS, or the post office, because everything else is just like we do now. To find a local, you will have to be on the load board to find that needle in the haystack, that relationship from New Jersey to Texas, that they need consistency enough, and we met up with them, and then do we have enough trucks to fill that? You would have to meet them at a perfect time. I have 4 trucks, so bam, you get what I'm trying to say. So it's a dice roll, you know what I mean?
what
It
what
is.
what I was what I w- and to clarify what I was saying, Ryan, I'm not saying that you fail on the low board. What I'm saying is I'm talking about if your whole trucking business structure for the rest of the time you have a trucking business, so whether that's 5 years, 10 years, you just take loads off the low board. To me, it's a failing structure. It's not saying that you can't make money, but to me, you're missing out on money because you have a job because you're getting paid with somebody who's willing to pay you instead of you having a business. My thing is, and what I tell anybody is, use the load board to build your business and scale it.
As
Once
a
you
tool.
scale it, just like Sharif was saying, now I got 3 trucks, now I got 4 trucks. Now when I go to these shippers and then be like, hey, I want to, try to get this dedicated load from you. Well, he's like, well, we need 3 trucks. I'm like, well, I got 4. You got more negotiating power than you just coming in there with
Exactly.
I got 1 truck. Take your head back to that low boy because I
Yeah,
don't hear what you got to say. And that's just real.
Yeah.
yeah, for
Like, I've
real, for
had
real though.
I've had this conversation with shippers. He's like, well, bro. He's like, I love how you work, but you got 1 truck. You can't do shit for me.
Exactly.
Understood. Cool. So at that point, now it's my goal to figure out, okay, how can I continue to build and scale to where now I can get 2 or 3, and I can come back to him like, hey, that shipment that you got from Atlanta to Philadelphia running Monday through Wednesday, I got that for you. And I got the equipment. I got the equipment and dealing. Now, all I got to do now, Monday through Wednesday cover, hell, find my driver a load on Thursday off the load board. Now that's one time I got to fuck with DAT.
Yeah,
Yeah.
To
yeah,
me, to me, like that's the goal. But that's what I was
That's
saying.
what
So
I
now,
would want.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't mind the low board, but I need something that's consistent. Like
that's
if
it.
I
It's just
knew
consistent, right?
it's Houston to Ohio, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, if I knew something like that and I knew the dollar amount, I could budget our bills better. Every week we like, okay, where
Right.
we going? This is our goal. This is what we need to make.
Yeah.
You know it's a guaranteed 1,500 to 2,500 coming every week.
Every week. Correct.
Gotcha. It's all about networking while you're out there on the load board. I mean, when you out there
Yeah.
hustling, doing the minute, and that's one thing me and Telly make sure we do. I make sure I shake hands, and and
Hmm.
and doing some small talking while I'm there. Even with the brokers, you know what I'm saying? I make sure, ain't nothing wrong with a little small talk. Hey, how you doing? Stay consistent, no names and stuff like that. And that way you can keep an ear out. At least you're that's to me that's the pulse of the industry. The
Yeah.
bottom pulse of it. You get me? Because you're right
One
there.
of
It's the bottom pulse of the industry.
Yeah, it is, and I'm not shitting on it because I mean that I get on the low board every day, but it is it's the
I hate,
scraps.
I hate it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the scrap.
But
Right.
Yeah.
Ryan,
I
you
hate,
Because
said
it,
something.
I hate the low board.
Ryan, you said
I hate the low board. I
Yeah.
fucking can't stand the low board. Honestly, that's me.
Yeah.
Until I found one broker that was paying me what I wanted in the last year, like 250, 275 or more or higher. That I hate the low board. I hate getting on DAT
Yeah.
every fucking morning, stressing myself out, making my beard turn fucking gray, losing my hair that I already ain't got. You know what I mean? Like that shit for the birds. You feel me? That's for
Yeah.
the birds. I hate the low board,
Well,
but I also pivoted, like I said, I pivoted to LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a great source to find those
it
brokers that
is.
that you really want to get in with and get to those. Because I was talking to my old driver one day, and he was like, "Hey, do you know how much you getting for this load?" I said, "Yeah, I got the fucking rate con, dude." He was like, "Hey, man, so you only get like a third of the payment." I said, "What you mean? I'm only getting a third?" Well, they paid over $2,000 for this short load. Well, what you mean? I only got 650 out of that. So there's gonna be times where they are literally effing you out of your money. And then they put in a clause in those contracts, and people ain't understanding those contracts. You cannot back solicit some of those shippers.
No, you
Hmm.
Right.
can't.
Right.
You can't do that. So you got to be real careful when you conversating with them,
On
and
your
kind of let them
terminology.
lean into it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta lean into it. They gotta lean into you and tell you information that you want to know. I mean, you can't just go full throttle. Oh yeah, so I need this. Can we get in here? Can we just take over this contract? Because then, if the broker catch wind from it, that's one. That's a freight guard. Two,
Right.
that's an expellment from their company, and you have that freight guard on you. So that's a termination of your company anyway. Once you get that carrier 411, it's over. It's done. So I'm like, okay, what's the next move? I'm redoing my whole structure. I fucked up. I'm one of those people who can admit to my mistakes. I fucked up out here, so I'm restructuring everything. And when I come back, I'm coming back harder. I'm still on LinkedIn. I'm still talking to these brokers. I'm still trying to put my footwork in, but I just know right now I have to restructure and I have to do the game differently. I can't do the box truck rental game. I have to go out there and I got to buy me a truck. I have to, really use my thought process on the fuel cards because I was paying out of pocket at first for fuel, and then I got onto the fuel cards. They don't take no extra money for the fuel cards. It was giving me a helping hand where I only paid once a week. In the beginning, it was twice a week with Pilot Flying J. So I was sending my trucks to Pilot Flying J, but everywhere doesn't have a Pilot Flying J. So I got to send my truck somewhere else and divert and use more fuel to get to that next gas station, fuel station. You know what I mean? D
Are you talking about
DEF
the credit? You talking about the credited fuel card or the prepaid?
credited. I didn't do the prepaid. I did credited.
Yeah,
I mean,
I do the prepaid.
they give you like I think one card gave me like $2,500 credit line.
Yeah.
Another fuel card gave me 2,000 credit line. Another card gave me so many, but I only used like one because RTS Pro, they were the first ones to extend the offer for a fuel card. So when they did that, that was Pilot Flying J. They hooked me up with that shit. I did A to B. A to B was pretty decent until my credit card info got stolen from the gas station. So
Mm.
I'm not sure what happened in that, but they took $1,000 worth of fuel, and then they took it from my account and said that I owed them, and they didn't want to give it back. I said, nah,
Gotcha.
bro, I need my money back. How's my truck all the way in Texas, but my truck is all the way in North Carolina right now? How did we get fuel in Texas at two different fueling stations, but we're in North Carolina right now? This ain't making sense. I need my money back. They did two different transactions. So two different semis got filled up off of my fuel card. So I cut them
Dang.
Eh,
completely.
one thing I
We
want
have Pilot and we use Mud Flap.
Yeah, I
but
got
Well, I
one
mud
thing
use
flat.
about it, if you can, you just got to do your planning. Like one thing about Pilot and Flying J's, you really got to plan when you're out
yeah.
there. And I know a lot of drivers. There is enough of them out there to be able to stay good. I know just this little run I did, I missed the exit, and it was a pilot, but I missed that exit, and I looked at my fuel, and bam, I misjudged, so I had to, because we try not to use the mud flap,
We
you
get
know,
discount with it.
discount,
See,
but I also try to go ahead.
I did it different. When I first started, I set aside 5,000 like just for fuel. So I got the fuel card with OTR, but I got the prepaid. So I load my own working money on there. But with the OTR fuel card, like I get real good discounts at like TA and
Hmm.
7-Elevens and just like the different gas stations. Like I said, I literally tell my driver where to go get gas from. He doesn't go.
7-Eleven's
He
everywhere.
he'll sleep. He'll sleep at a Love's. He'll sleep at a Pilots, but his ass can't get no gas from there.
Hmm.
No fuel. Go to TA or you go to these places that I'm telling you, because like especially I think I was in San Antonio one. I swear to God, it was like a, I guess I didn't know 7-Eleven even had a truck stop stores, but it was one in San Antonio. The fucking diesel was 228, and he was like 40 minutes away. I said, take your ass to that damn thing and top that damn truck off with that, like, because I I was gonna go that route with the credit one, but I was just like, I mean, because normally in a week I probably I kind of stay under $1,000. But like I said, I'm really not going. My truck goes from like I said, Atlanta to around Philadelphia, Atlanta for
But see,
Philadelphia to around the
you in
Midwest.
Atlanta.
Yeah,
Tell you what I tell you about
Yeah.
Atlanta's the sweet spot. It's in the
yeah.
middle. So you really ain't nothing hella far. You get what I'm trying to say? It ain't nothing like a thousand such and miles, you know what I'm saying? Unless you
But
going to California or so.
right, but see
You
that's
know
the
what I'm
thing,
saying?
and that's the other thing. And I had that written down on here. Like people just don't really know how to find work in this stuff. Like I don't. I'm going from Atlanta, Philadelphia to Chicago, Chicago down to Texas. I stay in that little quadrant. I can draw a
Mhm.
map
See,
of a little
Telly,
triangle in that
what I
quadrant.
tell you.
And I ain't never been to the West Coast. I ain't never
No,
been to
we ain't
Vegas.
either.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I ain't never been. I think the farthest north I've been is Wisconsin. And I was already in the Midwest then, because usually I try to get my driver up there to around the Midwest, and he stays up that way. He literally bounces around from Indiana, Ohio, Chicago throughout the week.
Exactly.
And then, like I
Mm.
said, if I can find something down there in Texas, he'll shoot his ass down there to Texas, and he'll bounce around Texas. It's not as hard as people make it out to be. But you can't just be chasing loads, motherfucker, going from Atlanta to Arkansas. That's fucking ridiculous. Hey, or I mean, I was
Yeah.
at Atlanta to fucking California. Like, I'm not. No, we're not finna do that. I don't give a fuck how much they
No.
paying.
We do kind of like you do. He's just now really going back to
I
the East
just,
Coast. I had to push him to
yeah.
go to East Coast.
Well, you know what? I had to get,
Stay away from Jersey and New York, though, man. I'm
well,
told.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah, yeah.
told,
You know,
dog.
Oh
told.
yeah, we getting them
That put,
toll
But
bills left
yeah,
and right.
yeah,
I'm
we getting
told,
those,
man.
but I try to, but us being in Houston, that get up and go, that rev up because we got to get up there. So
Yeah,
it's
Yeah.
like sometimes it get dry here in Houston because we right here on this water. It can get dry, and sometimes I gotta find a load that'll give me, or we'll do Amazon that'll get me up closer to Dallas. And Dallas is a good place to be because it's a metroplex. It's just a lot of freight coming out of Dallas. So
yeah.
Yeah.
you can move.
I love Dallas. I love Dallas.
Dallas, yeah, Dallas is a good place to be.
Got a broker with RTS that has a bunch of loads out of Houston. I'm gonna put Telly in contact with.
Please
Okay,
do,
gotcha.
because I'm RTS is our factoring company, and finding something out of Houston is I
Oh, they
I
crazy.
spin this, and they
Yeah,
don't negotiate. Ain't no
Gotcha.
negotiating with RTS.
It's
really?
crazy, man.
I mean, sometimes you can, but anytime we put a quote, it's
But I
rarely
tell you
taken.
what, with TQL, when I say if I see something, whatever price I see, I try to go 100 up. But it's
Yeah.
easier to negotiate with them now than it used to because
Man,
we know them and they know me by name now. So it's like I be like, come on, y'all,
people get
give
them
me
a
this.
people get them a bad name, man. But like I said, man, they got me through it. They got me through, man. Folks say they won't, man, but they got me through it, dog.
Hmm.
That first 3 months, shit, I had
But
them
you know
motherfuckers
what
on
it
speed
is?
dial.
But you know what it is? It's not getting frustrated because you can hire a driver that can get you in a bad standing with a broker because he don't want to use the tracking. He didn't want to answer the phone when they call. I get that over with because yeah, they gonna get on your nerves. They gonna bug you. They gonna
Yeah, man.
track you and call you, twice a day. Just get that
Yeah.
phone call over with.
Now
Just
what I
get it
tell my
over with.
driver, bro,
Call
I said,
them.
bro, just answer the damn phone. I said, if
Yeah,
I
yeah,
call you or they call you, answer the phone. Like
Yeah.
it ain't nothing else to talk about, bro. Just answer the
yeah.
goddamn phone.
I don't mind that with
Right,
TQL.
right.
But what gave TQL a bad taste in my mouth was the broker that I dealt with when I was driving the truck myself. That guy got me
Mm-hmm.
stuck at the motherfucking way station, overloaded, and I didn't know nothing about scale tickets. So when
Mm.
I picked up, I just took off. That was my mistake. And I got stuck at that way station dude talking about, oh yeah, you about to go to jail. I'm like, go to jail for working? Nah, it's okay. You ain't about to lock me up, officer. I'm cool. Like, you can put your badge away today. It's not going down that way. But they sent out another truck, but dude said, hey, look, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pay you for this, and we're gonna pay the tickets that you got. I had it all on
Mm.
text message. After that, he denied everything, sent me around for the loop, all that shit. I ended up having to pay a ticket for registration for being overweight.
Yeah,
That was like two
gotcha.
hundred and thirty
Because
something bucks. Yeah, I'm cool on
yeah, because
TQ.
ain't no way. Yeah, but ain't no way they can. There's no way he could have fixed that for you. Because it's up to us to
Yeah.
know what's on the truck
It's
and what's
technically
on
your
that paperwork.
it's
You
your
get what I'm trying to say?
responsibility.
So
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
could have said that, but that was probably just to get you off the phone. You know what I'm saying? Oh, don't worry about it. We gonna then once you got the phone, I bet you his phone number didn't work or his extension was changed. You
But
know.
like we
y'all,
said, we talked last time. I think if we had more trucks, we probably could get something a little bit more dedicated with, because TQL is one of the biggest brokers out there, and I mean,
Shit, they the biggest.
they the
They
biggest. I
the
mean, that's
They
the
the
biggest.
one I'm like,
biggest. They
oh,
the
what does
biggest.
TQL got? That's what I started looking to see what they got. I think if we had more trucks, we probably could get
Like I
something.
don't.
Because
I,
one of the TQL brokers saw his signature, and I put his TWIC TSA. I mean, I got it laid out, and he was like, "Oh, I see you have TSA. I have airport runs." But he was going to the West Coast. We don't do West Coast.
I get an email probably every Tuesday and Wednesday morning from a Sebastian Fair with TQL. Cause I done did so much good, I done did so much work for him. He always asks me, he like, is your truck in Tennessee? Is your truck there? I'm like, no, I ain't
Oh
there
yeah, we
today.
get that. Yes,
But you know what I'm saying? But because I started because I was doing so much for him. Like once I hit that 10 load little mark with them, and
you
I
know
ain't
what
had
we
no
need to
issues, no
do?
problem. They
You
did
know
me
what we do?
well.
You know what we need to do there? Just like right now, we get the same phone calls. You got anybody in such and such? I can hit you up and say, "Hey man, are you in Tennessee? They calling me about
Absolutely.
Tennessee," and we can start shooting texts to each other like that because we get the same phone calls like
That's
Mm-hmm.
that.
fact,
So,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
That's
So I
fact.
can always tell them, "Hey, go hit up such and such. Tell her, give me the name of your company, and go." And since you already in good standing, they just ain't gonna do nothing but look you up. You know what I'm saying?
And
Cause
what is
I tell them to call Sharif in a minute. Can you call him? Cause he don't want to go
Yeah,
today.
exactly. But see, they tried to, like I don't like going up there at the tip top northeast. That's forbidden territory for me. New York is forbidden territory. I get the shaking and stuff once I pass North Carolina, baby. I'm gonna
I
get the
said
uh-oh.
I sent my driver. I sent my driver Connecticut one time. He had to spend the night there. He said, "Man, this shit like the Blair Witch Project, man." He said, "It's dark
Man,
out here."
it dog.
He got to the shipper, but they were closed. But they told him he could just sleep. They let him get in the gate, and he stepped in the gate. He said, "Man, when they cut all them lights off, it's just a country road, and he's like, he was top of Connecticut in the wintertime." He said, "Man." He said, "Dude, I feel like a fucking demon finna come out and goddamn get me in
Yeah,
this truck."
partner.
He like, "Man,
Is
stay on
that
the
like
phone with me."
That
Oh yeah,
Dairy show we be watching with the
exactly.
clown? With the clown?
He's like, "Man, you gonna stay on the phone with me?" I said, "Hell no."
What?
I'm gonna go to sleep, bro. I ain't finna
Yeah,
stay on
you
the phone
better.
with you.
Tell tell you, I pulled up and slept the night, and I said, "Listen, I'm finna cut the lights out. When I cut the lights out, you can see your hand in front of your face.
I
The
wouldn't have
only
never
thing you
made
can
it.
do is reach for that lock button,
That's
I would
you
it.
have
know,
quit
and then
that day.
get you a blind, and
Oh, he
then
just,
just cut it
he
up
gonna
and hope for
he
the
gonna ask
best."
me. He said, "Man, can I get a pistol?" I said, "Yeah, you can get one, but if you're in the wrong state and you ain't supposed to have one, they arrest your ass.
It's at your risk. It's
That's
at
your
your
ass,
risk.
bro. Cause you take your ass up there to New York, and you got a
Yeah.
goddamn gun. They don't play
Yeah,
that
you
shit.
in trouble, partner. Yeah, you
New
don't do
York
that.
ain't New York ain't bad. I really don't like to go in the wintertime. Like I said, the tolls are crazy, but in the summertime, it's some good rates around New Jersey. That whole little
Hmm.
Philly, New Jersey area. Yeah, I get some real good races,
All
especially
that be jumping.
American Logistics, they be had
Okay.
like them motherfuckers pay well. They'll give me some good little rates over in the Northeast. But I just if you stay in that Midwest, you gonna eat.
You
You can
gotta
just
stay
eat.
in them because it's too many. It's a cluster of cities.
Well,
You know,
cluster.
all that. So,
And
you
most of the
know,
stuff that's coming from there, if you've ever bought something from Amazon, bought something from TikTok, you see that shit goes to Chicago and then it comes to Atlanta, or it goes to Chicago and then it comes to Texas.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
so why not go there and I could just bounce back and forth from Atlanta to Chicago, Atlanta to Ohio, Atlanta to whatever. Like, it's
Do you do Amazon, Derek?
no, I don't fuck
No,
with 'em.
not at all.
I signed up with it after I hit my 6 month mark, and I ain't never do not
Never did
that.
nothing with it.
Them like them rates ain't to me. It ain't worth it. And then the way my driver, the way we do stuff, I do a lot of partial. Like I don't do a whole lot of full load. And you're gonna really have to pay me to get all 26 feet of that fucking truck because I do a lot of partial because to me it makes the most sense with them box truck. But with that, most of the Amazon shit at night around here in
Yeah,
Atlanta. And so you'll see like a route from Atlanta to Tennessee or Atlanta to like North Carolina to their little post office and stuff. And you deliver to a lot of them post offices and stuff. And hell,
Hmm.
sometimes you get to the motherfucker and the damn workers being there sleeping shit. Like
yeah.
it's too much of a hassle. And like I haven't really seen no rates and money. I hear a lot of people talking about it. Like, the only reason I signed up for it is if like I just couldn't find nothing and I needed to either get back to
It's
pay for my
good
gas
for
or
the
something.
day. Thank you,
For
thank you.
the
To get out of Florida, we
see,
will use it to get out of
I partial out of
Tampa,
there. I partial like crazy out of Florida. You got to.
and
Which
that
it
Florida
ain't a
so dry.
long deadhead for me because I live in because
Yeah.
my home base in
Oh
Georgia,
no, it's not exactly.
but I just don't believe in deadheading, and that's the other thing that like my driver tell you we don't do that deadhead shit. If I just gotta find something that just gonna pay for my gas and we don't make a fucking dollar, that's fine. But you're not driving that truck with nothing in it. We don't do that. So we're gonna find something. If it's just one fucking pallet paying goddamn $300, cool.
Because sometimes you can drop a load quick and then you can see a small one for like $300 and you can get it delivered in the same day. I see that sometimes too. And
Well,
I be
usually what
like,
I
why don't
do,
we just get a small one like that?
usually on on Friday, either Friday or Saturday, I try to find a Monday load that's at least half the truck, if not
Yeah.
full. So when he's going that way and he drops off, I'm usually at that point Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I'm just looking for partials, and I'll find if I can find something that's 10 feet, 12 feet, 8 feet, or whatever. If it's paying at least $1, and then I'll go to looking. 3 hours from where he's at, or I mean,
Hmm.
like 2 hours from where he's at to find another one that's going in the
Hmm.
same direction. I usually just stack them like that, and I'll make my own 250 because my cost per mile for my truck, like I said, our expenses are so low. My cost per mile for my truck is like $1.30. I mean, technically, if I take something for $1.60, I'm making 30 cents profit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it ain't tripping. So if I can get it in around two, when I be getting it a couple of partials, I'm normally partialing at around $2, 220, 225. So it'd be pretty good. But I very seldom do full load. Like I
Gotcha.
just very
So when
seldom
you
do it.
so when you search specifically for parcels, or do you just search for loads that
So
say?
what I do on my on usually when I get up in the morning, I got my laptop open and I got my filters and stuff set for full loads. On my phone, I have it set for partials. So I'm looking. So that's
Mm.
usually how I'm doing it, and I'm looking at it like that. So if it's nothing that's just catching me on a big load or nothing, I got my cell phone to the side of me and I'm looking at partial. I book most of my loads off my cell phone. Half time I don't even know why the fuck I have my laptop out because most of the time I'm on a damn cell phone.
Yeah, I'm on my
I,
phone.
that's normally how I do it because otherwise it'd be too much on the screen for me trying to look at big loads and parcels at the same time. But I mean, I know you could put the filter for both on the load board, but I just do it on my phone.
Yeah.
For whatever reason I can just do it fast. But then I have that load hunter on my computer, which helps me, what I'm saying, as far with my cost per mile and stuff. So I can calculate stuff faster from my laptop than I can from my phone. Now I'm trying to add and subtract, and I ain't the smartest human being in the world, so I need a calculator. I need numbers.
I like how you think, man. You and Telly break down stuff in the same way. The numbers thing, because my shit come as I'm I know how to move the shit. I know how to move it and
But
how
see,
to keep the shit.
that's why y'all
Yeah,
work well
exactly.
together. She
You
do the
know what I'm
numbers,
trying to
you
exactly.
goddamn moving it. Yeah, that's how it work.
Exactly. So that's why sometimes even when I hire somebody, I say don't argue with her when it comes down to numbers and stuff. I'm gonna I'm gonna tell you how to get the load there, get the truck, keep the truck running and stuff like that. But if she tell you something that needs to be done, believe me,
I'm
you know,
100% numbers guy,
it's for the
dog.
benefit.
I
Exactly.
get so aggravated on the Facebook group when you hear people say stupid shit like, I ain't moving my truck today. So you just gonna sit there and not make no fucking money. That's the dumbest shit ever. I don't care if I make $400. I'd rather make $400 in a day than make zero.
Yeah.
Like it just makes no sense. Like, why are you in business to just sit because you don't quote unquote like the rate? If the rate is profitable, take it. Because you still got to pay your driver. Because if you don't take it, unless you're driving yourself, if you don't take it, he ain't making no damn money. So I can't think like that because I have to feed him. So if I got to take a load that after my cost per mile is paid and I pay my driver, and I ain't making but $150. Well, it is what it is. But the truck got to keep moving because I need that money to keep flowing.
Hmm.
This
That
is
that
just
would be how I look at it. Because sometimes when we drop a load, if you do argue with me, I'd be like, "Oh, you dropped it early. Let's take this little short one." And you'd be like, "No, I don't want to do that one." So I'd be like, "If you," because in my
Well,
brain, but let me
sometimes
finish. In my
go ahead.
brain, I'd be like, "Oh, we dropped that one. That's $800. There go one for 300, and we could factor it all in the same day. We done made 1,100 in one day." But
Yeah, but when you got a dead head to go back to find something from, because she every now and then she'll that $200 load will take us somewhere to where we're gonna have to come back that same way to come back to get another load,
Mhm.
and we're gonna have to put another tank of gas in there, and that load, yeah, we made $200, but we're gonna put 200 back in the tank to go back to where we just came from. So we only thing we did was gave the truck exercise. But sometimes I look at that.
What you
You get what
say?
I'm trying to say?
It
And
gave the truck a
yeah,
workout.
exactly. Because we made $300, but we got to re up. We can't get a load from there, from that area. So I say, I'd rather sit down than go there, and then we got to dead head back anyway. I'm gonna have to get gas to go get it, and then go out there, and we got to come back. So we didn't really make no money,
See, that
in
makes
my
sense.
that's how I'm looking.
What I try to do, because starting off, I was doing a lot of long hauls. And then when I say long hauls, I mean 8, 9, 12 hour trip. And that's like, you know what? I was like, let's pivot on that a little bit. So, like I said, when I started really doing with the parcels and stuff, if I do see a long route that's like, let's say 6 hours or more, if I can find a partial, if I can find a partial going that way, just say I'm going Atlanta to Chicago. If I can find a partial going that way, then I know I got a good amount of earth to find a couple more parcels before I get to Chicago. That's still going in that same direction. Now, I ain't necessarily got to drop it off in Chicago, but it got to be dropped off en route. And the other thing that I love about partials, you get a partial sometime, they be like, well, shit, I might get it Monday. They be like, yeah, you can deliver that bit Thursday. So now I got time to play with. Now, only time I do that if it's usually just like a pallet or two. I ain't gonna do that with like 13 feet pallet because you ain't finna I ain't finna let that sit in my truck for 4 days.
Got you.
But if I got something that's just like a pallet and they're gonna pay me 250 and I ain't gotta deliver it to fucking Thursday and I know I'm gonna be up in that area for that time period, you know.
But I tell you what, listening to you and stuff like that, and what Taylor saying, we gonna do those little lows. But also, you have to factor in the dead zone.
right.
That, and sometimes I think she panics. You know what I'm saying? If we ain't getting done quick enough, all of a sudden you just throwing me stuff because it's getting
I
late.
just
We've
like
been
to
waiting 2 hours.
pre-plan. I like it to
Yeah.
already be planned. Like when I know you're already close, I like to start looking for the next day. I like it to already be there.
I'm
We
like
know
that
what we
too.
got going.
I
I
might as
don't
well.
like when we gotta sit and look that day to pick up that day. I don't like that. I like
Yeah,
to
but
already.
sometimes I say when you sometimes we missing out on like when you try to rush and get it quick, it'll be a run
One
sometimes,
that's better.
and
There's one that's
that
better.
that's better.
But
And
I
I
feel
understand
like
sometimes
the
it's
Lord
the
want us to
anxiety
have the will of
exactly.
God. That's how I look at it. The
Gotcha.
Lord
But
want us
I
to have.
like I say, like I said, it's a battle. It's an anxiety. It's like a good 10 minute, 30 minute anxiety battle because we're trying to get something, and then we're trying to. I'm trying to make it make sense, and I'm
So
out there looking at the code.
what time you normally get on the board, Taylor?
Right
Shoot.
when I get up.
All right,
No.
yeah.
Well, I
So
know that's too early.
It ain't
That's
no
too
time
early. So
period. It ain't no time period.
I try
me
to
is
start
it'd
around
be
eight
7 in the
o'clock.
morning.
8 o'clock. I'm already there at 6, but I know ain't
Yeah.
nothing coming till after 6 o'clock.
Mm.
And then sometimes I'm still surfing in the middle of the night, and sometimes TQL does something out there on after hours, and a lot of times it's something out there.
Another thing I do, I don't know if y'all do this, it probably help. When it's around 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll change my filter. So like today what's today, the 15th? So I
16.
changed my filter. Well, today's 16th. So I changed my filters around 2, 3 o'clock. Start looking at lows from 17. And you'll
Mm-hmm.
start seeing them pop up. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead and start reaching out to them. Cause I know it's like 3 o'clock. So they're still there. They're still at
Yeah.
work or whatever. And I'll go ahead and try to book them lows that are coming out. That's not going out to the next day. Just so my driver already has something prepared. But that's something I try to do.
Yeah, because right now we going to Ohio. So I'm already looking on RTS because RTS put their loads out early when you factor with them, and you
Hmm.
get to see them, and you can see what's out there early, and then you could book it early. Yeah, so I try to like look at stuff early, um, as well too, because I sleep better when I know we already got something
Some
for
brewing.
already. Yeah, that's how I do. Well, we've
Right.
been on here for almost an hour and 15 minutes. I really
Okay.
appreciate this conversation.
Oh, no problem. I
I know the
love it.
holidays are coming up. I will probably try to do it again next Tuesday. I think I'm off, so I'll probably do it again next Tuesday. Sharif, you'll probably be on the road. I don't know if you'll be up and ready to get on there, but
Oh yeah, we'll do it. I'll make it happen. I'll make it happen.
Yeah. I'll be available next Tuesday.
yeah, I like this
Okay.
better than being live in the group because it's just yeah.
Bunch of
We be
idiots.
trying to sell. Everybody be trying to sell their services on the side. I don't be like,
Yeah.
all right, thank you guys. I'll start. It'll stop making some excerpts for me. AI does all that. This whole thing, it'll pop some stuff out. So I'll post it
Awesome.
on
Gotcha.
Facebook. All right.
Hey, pleasure meeting you, Derek.
You too, Sheree, brother. We'll talk later.
All
Thank
right now.
you.
All right.